Newgarden, who drives this weekend, the number 2 Snap-on Team Penske Chevrolet. Joseph will start on the outside of row number 2, start 4th overall. And Christian Lundgaard, drive the number 45 Hy-Vee Honda for Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing. 3rd straight front row start on the IMS road course for Christian. We'll go ahead and start. Christian, just your thoughts, another front row start here at IMS. You've taken to this place pretty well, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I must say I'm a little disappointed. I wanted to. There's only one more guy to beat. I mean, we've done it before. We've been on the pole here. We've also started second. That will now be the second time in a row that I'll do that. But I think as a team, we need to be proud of always knocking on the door when we're here. We're always competitive, and yet we're still trying to find different things and make different things work, which is an approach we took for this weekend because we knew we had a place to fall back to. So it's kind of one of those weekends where we know that we can experiment a little bit more and try to improve the overall road course package. But we ended up coming back. That was the better car.
And Joseph, it seems like throughout the day, practice 1, practice 2, steady improvement. How proud of you to get in the Firestone Fast 6 here today?
Yeah, it was great. I really thought, I mean, no discredit to Christian, I thought Will was going to have the pole today.
So did I.
He was looking good. He was looking really good, and you know, I think he's been sort of the benchmark this weekend. You know, watching him, he's been just on it. Looked really good in practice too. And I think for us, we've struggled from the first outing. You know, actually, one of my best laps was my 3rd lap out. And then we just went backwards from there. And now we clawed our way back into qualifying. I felt like we had a really good car. Team did a great job. So pretty happy to be in the Fast 6. Happy to start in that 2nd row. And I think we have something to fight with, which is great for the whole team. So we got a couple cars up there. We'll
open up for questions both in Zoom, but primarily in person. We'll begin here, Madeline, with Bruce Martin from NBC, Forbes, and Speed Sport.
Joseph, just how great was it just to get back in the race car and be able to go out there and lay down those laps? And also, how well is it going working with Myron?
Oh, it's great. You know, we've got an amazing team, as everybody knows. We've got a lot of depth. And, you know, for us, we pride ourselves in it's never one person. It's great to plug in some of these other guys that I've known for a long time, ever since joining the team. And it's also been great to work with Raul. He's on the Porsche side right now, but just a great engineer. I've worked with him a lot in the past, really enjoy him. And Myron did a great job calling today. It was a little different. I just, new voice in my head that I haven't had in a little while. But they did a great job, and it's awesome to be here at the Speedway. Just so excited to be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I love this place. You know, it puts a smile on my face every time I drive through the gates, and it's going to be a good month for us, hopefully.
And Myron may not have a lot of success in this race, but he's had a tremendous amount of success calling races in the Indianapolis 500 with some winning teams. So that's got to give you a big boost of confidence starting next Tuesday.
Oh, definitely. I asked him, I said, I didn't realize Myron's been here 38 years. He didn't even look like he'd been here 38 years. I'm like, how are you? I was like, you got to be like top of the list as far as current tenure. And he's not somehow. He's up there. He's top 5. But, yeah, he knows what he's doing, and he's great to have on the box this weekend. So excited about it.
Go ahead.
Joseph, obviously you've had a lot of recent success here with the finish last year at the 500, another good day today. What is it about this track that you really like, both emotionally and in the car?
I mean, what's there not to like? You know, when we were rolling down pit lane today, and I was telling my crew chief, Chad, I was like, there's just no place like the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. No place compares. You know, the history of this facility and the feeling that it gives you, it's very emotional. It's just a great place to be. And, you know, certainly this weekend's different than a couple weeks from now. You know, the road course is one challenge. I would say it's not been our best challenge. You know, we've actually gotten a race win in the 2-car on the road course, but only one. And certainly on the oval, you know, it's a totally different ball game when you show up for the 500. So it's great to be here. This is a good warm-up. You know, everybody enjoys this show, and then, you know, we're really thrilled for what's going to come in 2 weeks.
And then you also just talked about the difference, I guess, in a voice in your head. What like advantages and disadvantages might that bring with a new voice?
You know, it's not crazy different for us. I mean, it was funny having different cadence today than I've had in the last 7 years. But I felt like business as usual. We got pretty much our whole team here, and we got a pretty deep group. Everyone's really close together. I know everybody. I've told this to people before, but I wouldn't mind plugging into any one of these cars that we have at Team Penske. It's just they're great teams. Everybody's solid. So it didn't feel that different. It was just a different voice.
One or two more questions for either Joseph or Christian before we get to Alex. Go ahead, Nathan.
Joseph, following up on that, what processes have you gone through or will you continue to go through just to try to make sure that you and John are on the same page going into a race? I know this is a bit of a condensed race weekend than what we might typically have.
Yeah, thankfully, look, he's really up to speed, just as we touched on. He's been here 38 years. He knows the program. I've known John a long time. And, we talked about some of the likes, dislikes of each individual, what I'm used to hearing, what I like to hear, don't like to hear. But he didn't really have to change his MO from the beginning. It was like, just be John. We don't have to be identical to what I've had in the past, but here's, our operating procedure. We already had a plan laid out for the most part. We've been working on it for a couple weeks now. So, it was really just business as usual in a lot of ways, and we're not doing a lot outside of the norm of what we would be doing on a race weekend.
I know folks were called into the shop on Monday and told about what the changes that were going to take place with the team over the next couple of weeks. Were you surprised that Tim and Luke weren't going to be with you in May, or how did you take that news?
Yeah, I was surprised, but this isn't my team. It's Roger's team, and everybody's heard from Roger at this point and what we've done, and all I can say is I'm excited to be here. I'm so happy to be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You have no idea. I'm not saying that disingenuously. It just feels good to be here, and we've got the team. It's a little different than what it looked like last year, but not that different. We're here as a team, and we're ready to go.
Thanks.
Take one more for either, again, Christian or Joseph. Go ahead.
Noah Carmichael with Mighty Mac. Pillow, this was the track last year where...
I'll tell you what, can you hang on? Either Joseph or Christian before we
Okay,
wrap up with Alex.
My apologies. So Lundgaard, this is a track where, while you guys might have struggled at other places, this place, in this circuit particularly, you guys have had very strong results, not only in qualifying, but with the race within the last few years. With how much of a streak you guys have been going on coming into this circuit, how much of an optimistic does that put you guys in to try and have a really good result and possibly score that win tomorrow?
Well, in our minds, there's only one objective, and that's to win the race tomorrow. When we found out that the August race wasn't happening, we knew that one of our stronger races were taken off the calendar. Last year we swept both poles across the team, and the car is faster, but we need to be better on race day. We've had 2 poles last year, but only 1 podium, which wasn't a win. So it's pretty clear for us what we need to do tomorrow.
One more, Chris. I know you had your hand up earlier. Go ahead.
Christian, any major changes that y'all made, going into this race or compared to last year, or no? Because I know the cars are a little bit different with them being lighter, but I don't think y'all really had to do that much because y'all got all 3 cars in the top 12.
No, we at least on the 45 car, we took a little bit of a different approach going into the weekend, which we've done on most tracks this year, honestly. Which again comes to the car changes, the weight specifically. Obviously trying to compensate for that, and it's been a direction that we've been working in the past couple of years, but I think we took a little bit of a too big of a swing at it. And we basically came back to relatively where we were last year with the modifications. But the car is in a good window. We're obviously still always trying to improve.
Okay, it's all good. Joseph, Christian, thank you for coming up.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good luck tomorrow, okay? In the Sonsio Grand Prix. And obviously also joined now by Alex Pillow driving the number 10 DHL Chip Ganassi Racing Honda with the 4th different NTT P1 award winner in as many races in 2024. First pole position here on the IMS road course, 4th for your career. No better way to start this month of May at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's big. It's big for us. Only got 4 poles, which is a lot, but at the same time, it's not as much as we've been successful on the races. So we've normally struggled quite a lot on qualifying. So it feels special. And on top of that, today we started a bit slow, struggling a little bit with the car balance in both practices. So yeah, kind of surprised that we are here, but at the same time we are enjoying the moment and looking forward to tomorrow starting on pole.
Pleasantly surprised that you're
Yeah,
here.
pleasantly surprised.
Pleasantly surprised. All right, questions for Alex Plow. We'll begin here with Joey, and then Tim, I see you. Yeah, we'll work around the room. Go ahead, Joey.
Hey, Alex. What's going on with the Reds? Because it just seems like trying to find that peak with them is especially tricky this year.
I don't know. I wish I could know. I don't really know what it is. There's obviously it's tougher this season for everybody, not for our team, but for every single team to be consistent. We've seen Herda was P1 this morning, and I think he made it to fast 12. We're really fast in Barber, and then suddenly we lost a ton of performance. So I don't think I don't know what it is. I wish I would know. Yeah.
Do you feel like in this case for this weekend, I'm seeing so many of you guys maybe not push so much on the out lap, whereas before so often y'all would just immediately go out there and try to find the maximum immediately. Like, is that a variance that you've seen change dramatically over, especially at this place over the last couple of events?
No, I would say it's more related to conditions. Like in August, we had the same alternate tire, which some people could push on the first time lap, some others we couldn't. In May, we could all push on the first time lap, but it was a completely different alternate. So, yeah, I mean, it keeps on changing. Stuff keeps on changing, which makes it tough to know. But for sure, the conditions today doesn't help to go hard on the first push lap. I think nobody did. Maybe McLaughlin in Q2 or Q1.
And the last one is, did I hear right that you only used one set of Reds?
Yes, I think there was only Joseph, right, that went out on used alternates, and he used twice. But I think Power didn't use any. I don't know. Like
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to say Powerhead, you went through two.
He went on alternate?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Well, Christian told me, 2 alternates?
Yeah.
Oh, so they used both?
Yes.
Nice.
Tim May.
Yeah, I was going to follow up on that. Wow, that was loud. Alex, it seemed like a couple guys went out there and maybe pushed it over the edge a little bit. What was your mindset in that last Fast Six in terms of attacking, but don't be stupid about it?
I think Fast Six is that special moment where you know already that you're going to be in the top 6, which is like a really good starting position here in IndyCar. So you go for it. You always go for it. Sometimes works, like today, and some others don't work, like all the other times I've been in Fast Six. So it's. I think once you're in Fast Six, it doesn't really make a big difference if you're 3rd or 6th, but it makes a difference if you're P1 and you can start P1 tomorrow. You can get hat, sticker, and a point, and just the feeling of being the fastest. So we went for it. We went hard. Actually went too hard on the second lap and had to abort it because I just overpushed. But yeah, first lap was good.
But did you feel your car as the day went on get better? I mean, just what's
Yeah.
your mindset, I guess, headed for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, practice 1, we didn't really have any issues, and we were like P16 or 17th, then P11 for practice 2, so made a small step. Then Q1, I think we were 6th, so made another step, and then we kept on improving every single session that we were on with the car, so feels good. Hopefully we can find a little bit more for tomorrow for the race. It's going to be tough, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go, Chris, and then stay in the second row. Go ahead, Chris.
Alex, as you go into a race weekend, you have to prepare your car setup for the track rubbering in with all the different feeder series and all of that. This year, they've got Continental on the 2 lower rungs of the whatever they call it nowadays. How has that changed this year?
Did they change the name?
Well, it was like USF. It was Road to Indy. Now it's like what, USF Pro Champion, whatever they call it. Anyway, with Continental being on there instead of Cooper, like, has that changed how y'all approach a weekend, or is it just similar? It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's similar. It doesn't really we don't really feel like it's a big change, and you can see that by the track evolution. It doesn't really evolve drastically compared to other years. So yeah, I wouldn't say that it makes any difference for us.
Go ahead.
Obviously, we just heard a lot just the phrase month of May. Like, I feel like I've heard that so much over the past couple days. Just heard Newgarden talk about his feelings about just the IMS in general. What are the feelings that come up for you when you just hear the month of May and you walk into the Motor Speedway here?
Yeah, I mean, we say it's the biggest month. It's our most important month. We have 2 races, and including the biggest race. We spend here a lot of time. Like, I slept last night here at the track, and I'll be spending the full week next week here. So it feels like home, and it feels special. And it's very tough. So when something is so tough and you need to go through so many days of like up and downs, it just makes you love or hate this place. In this case, I fully love it so far. So yeah, hopefully we can love it even more for next year.
Let's go Nate, then Bruce. Nate, go ahead.
Alex, you won this race by nearly 17 seconds last year, and that kicked off 4 wins in 5 races and pretty much the dominant championship run. Did you kind of have a special feeling come out of this race last year? I mean, do you look at it as this kind of kicked off your title last year?
Yes and no. It helps, but I don't think that suddenly changes how you go for the next couple of races. Like, otherwise we would see that a lot more often. We would see, I don't know, McLaughlin now dominating, and he's good, but he's not like dominating now. So we just had an amazing amount of work by the whole team that allowed me to have the best car every single weekend last year, so much in a row, and we executed. We were lucky at some moments, and we took advantage of it. So, but it helps. Momentum always helps mentally. If you're in the fence of, like, I don't know, doing a good overtake or a bad overtake, you're probably going to do a good one. And same goes for laps when it comes down to like really high pressure moments. But yeah, we take it always one race and one session at a time.
Does it put you in a better frame of mind, though? I mean, like last year, you also won the Indy 500 pole after you had that dominant win here. So does doing this kind of take you back a little bit to a year ago and think, this is when things really start moving along?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every time you start up front, it just it makes it feel that way. But especially if it's here, it's the same place that we celebrated now. Not at the same level, but I'm still super happy. I don't know. I think it's so hard for us to get poles, and we're not here very often, that it makes it feel so special. So yeah.
Bruce.
You may have answered this already, but in terms of when you set the fast time, but Will's still on the track, so are you thinking in the back of your head, you know, if anybody's going to do it, it could be him? And then what was your reaction when he didn't?
Yes and no. Like, you never know until they tell you exactly. I didn't know who was on track. It's not like you guys see everything. I just see my car, and I know that I finished my lap. I don't have any more chances to improve, and they tell me there's still cars on track. So they can tell you you're P1, still 3 cars on track, and you finish sometimes P4. So it's like, okay, just don't tell me anything until it's fully done. So probably from TV was a bit more interesting than from the car. From the car, I was just like, please don't improve.
In the last couple of years, you've pretty much been the king of this series. And how do you stay so cool when everybody's taking their best shot at you and they still can't knock you off?
I don't think we... I wish it was that way, but it's tough. It's tough, and every weekend changes. Like Barber, we started 10th. We were pretty terrible, finished 5th. It was a good race, but it's I don't know. I love being here. I'm having a great time. Probably going through tough moments in 2022 make me just enjoy every single day.
And last question from me, but is it good to see somebody else having to answer all the questions they don't want to answer other than yourself?
Yeah, it's interesting from looking from afar. I know what they are going through, and they're getting tired of asking the same thing, but I went through that for 2 seasons in a row, so it's good to see it now. Yes, I'm glad to give it back.
Time for a few more. Go ahead.
Being on the pole between now and when the green flag drops, what are some of the top things that you and your team are going to focus on?
Well, now we want to go back, talk to the other drivers, analyze what every single car did. It's been a hectic day today with like 2 practices and qualifying, so we need to understand what made our car improve so much from this morning, and hopefully try one more step for tomorrow, just in case there's more speed there. But warm-up changes, it's always different for the race, and it's all about managing the tire and still being consistent. So we're gonna go through the race strategies from August last year, May, and even the previous years, and see what's the best thing for our car, and go for it.
Nate?
I forgot to ask. Did you say it's your mom's birthday?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you talk to her yet? Or?
Huh?
Did you talk to her? Or is she
Yeah,
here?
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Is she here?
No, she's
okay.
not here, but they are in Spain. But
Okay.
I spoke to them right after qualifying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you told her about your gift?
Yeah,
to her.
of course.
Okay. Did she like it?
Yeah, they're excited. They wanted to be here. They will be here for qualifying. So in a week now, they'll be here. But yeah, that's the gift for her. So I don't have to buy now.
Thanks.
I actually sent something.
Let's take one off Zoom. Enrique from Marca, go ahead.
Enrique, what?
Naranjo.
Hello, Dave. Hello, Alex. Congratulations. Just
Hola.
a few words in Spanish. Alex, dos preguntas rápidas. ¿Qué ha cambiado para que hoy, en ese momento que sufres un poco más, o eso parece, ¿no? En el último intento con las blandas usadas, hayas sacado ese extra? Y luego la segunda, el año pasado aquí empezaste una racha que seguramente fue clave para el campeonato. ¿Podemos estar ante un momento para repetirla?
No te lo voy a decir porque si no lo escucharán los otros también y nos copiarán, ¿no? Pero creemos que tenemos algunas ideas, aunque ya hemos tenido esa sensación alguna vez, y este año cuesta más. Es como que es muy difícil ser regular, sobre todo con las usadas y con las rojas, probablemente porque las están hechas para el híbrido y para el peso del coche híbrido, y ahora tenemos aún menos peso que el año pasado. Así que cuesta, pero bueno, estoy contento de que nos haya salido bien este fin de semana y no como en Barber, que fue completamente al revés. Y luego, sí, obviamente, es un sitio especial donde el año pasado, a partir de aquí, tuvimos muy buenas carreras, así que nada, hemos empezado bien hoy con la pole y vamos a intentar repetir victoria mañana.
Gracias, enhorabuena y suerte para mañana. Thanks, Dave. Thank you.
All right. Dayanara, any other questions in person? Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Yep. Once again, Alex Palou, pole winner for tomorrow's Sonsio Grand Prix. Thanks, everyone.